It's a CBR 600 for 450 bucks. We doing this?
Yeah.
All right. Let it rip.
All right. He said, "Well, okay, what's your address?"
Oh, shit. Tell him your address. We'll meet you there with the money. We'll meet him there with the money. What's up, gamers? I've just bought the worst bike you've ever seen. This is a 1996 Honda CBR 600 F3, so it's the carbureted one. And as you can see, this thing is in a sorry state. The seat's torn, the fairings are messed up. The guy told us it has low compression, which could mean any number of things. So, of course, I had to buy it. It was $450 delivered to my friend's house. He and I co-own it, so I'm in it like $225 at this point, and we're gonna attempt to tear this thing down and rebuild it in a matter of like a month, because we leave for summer, early May. So here goes nothing. You know, this is a bit of a gamble, but we're willing to take it. Well, this thing's a piece of shit, but I think we can get something done here. So first things first, we just get the fairings off, and then we start tearing down the rest of the bike. I begin by taking off the main coolant lines from the radiator, and we already have an issue. The coolant that drains out is of green and milky brown consistency, so we know there's some oil in the coolant, which leads us to think that it's a head gasket issue. Later we will find out it is much more than that, but for now, I just keep taking the bike apart. I managed to pull the radiator, muffler, and headers off the bike before I start working on the main engine bolts. It takes a while to remove all the necessary connections and bolts that run through the engine and engine mounts, but we finally got it done. All right, after hours of working on this thing, we finally got the engine out. There's this one bolt, this one, that goes through the frame right here. And we took it out, and the engine still wasn't budging. And we finally figured out that this stupid little screwed in, like, what would you even call this? Anyway, that finally came out, engine loose, removed everything. So now we're here. Now we gotta start disassembling this thing. There we are. It's actually not too bad in here. There's still some glove in one of the spark plug holes because I used a glove on a socket to try and remove the spark plugs, and that backfired on the second one, so I'm gonna have to take that out. Anyway, back to work. All right, time to drain this oil. We got the most scuffed method possible. We put it on the bricks. This is so stupid.
Nothing comes out.
Oh no. No, we got it. It's good. That is the grossest oil I've ever seen.
That is sludge.
Oh my god. That is like shit oil. Jesus. This hasn't been changed since 1996. Guaranteed. If this overflows, we're gonna have a big issue.
Does that have to be open?
Yeah.
You dumbass.
Shut up.
Like, I feel like the motor's just gonna tip.
Yeah, that would not be good.
You don't say.
I got one of these out already. Working on the second one now. All right, after 4 hours, we finally got the head gasket out, and this thing is disgusting. It's all torn apart. This thing's definitely bad. We were losing compression in cylinders 2, 3, and 1 and 4 as well. And this is probably why. The pistons don't look great either. This piston is like deformed somehow. I don't know. There's rust in here. We're gonna have to take this thing all apart. So I'm gonna start looking for piston parts, new head gasket. Probably need new piston rings and whatnot. And then might as well look for new engines to price compare. We'll see what we need. Our engine was in pretty bad shape, and it already had 52,000 miles on it, so we decided just to buy a new one from good old Facebook Marketplace. So we found one in North Carolina from a guy who had a really nice shop, actually. So hopped in the Jeep, drove 3 hours, picked it up. It was about $480, drove back the same day, and we also got like a free radiator and petcock from it. After enticing some more of our friends with beer, we had a few more helping hands to get this new engine in. It took about a full day, but we eventually got it in, and after wiring everything up, it really wasn't too much. We were able to start it for the first time. Well, kind of first time. This thing has like 11,000 miles on it, but you know. This was a huge milestone for us, and although the carburetor still needed to be rebuilt because we had a bit of fuel leakage, we knew we were getting close to having a working motorcycle. All right, we just pumped up the tires. They do hold air, which is good. That was a pretty major concern. This sprocket's not too bad. It's got a little bit of life left on it, but we're gonna replace it anyway. Our chain and sprocket kits just came in because this sprocket, which is on the new motor, is actually not the right size. So we have new sprockets, new chain. We're waiting to get a wheel stand from one of our friends because we don't have a wheel stand right now. So once we get that in, we'll replace all the chain stuff. We tested the headlight. It's not here right now, but it does work, which is good. Our gas tank, this is so stupid. Whoever owned it before us, this is where the petcock goes, and they just like JB welded whatever this is on here and put a hose in. So we got to figure out what we're gonna do with this. Maybe just an inline switch. Maybe we take this off, see if we can TIG weld like a new bung on it, and hopefully get the petcock, the original petcock, back in here. But other than that, bike's going pretty well. It turns over well, battery's strong, motor's strong. You know, we've run it for a little bit. The carbs, we need to get where they go. Carbs are inside. but they need to be rebuilt because the old seals are all bad from 1996, and our fork seals are bad, of course. So these are leaking and they're coming down here, forming a little puddle. So we'll have to get these resealed. We know a guy who can probably do that for us. That shouldn't be too bad, but it's just another thing that adds on time to the rebuild of this bike. It's already like mid-April and we have until like early May. So we're just trying to get everything done as fast as possible. We finally got a wheel stand from our friend, so we got the wheel off, got the new sprocket on, got our new chain on. This was a pain because it was a rivet type chain, so we had to borrow a tool to rivet that in. Oh, like, it's so annoying. But now that that's on, the only thing we have left to do is put the fuel pump in, do the fork seals. I know those are gonna suck, but we'll do those eventually. Get the fairings on, gas tank on, and we should be close to ready to ride. So that'll be next video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.